Rebecca.
Okay. Becca, you really spoke well today.
Thank you.
It's very good to connect things about immigration and about survival. And about the Holocaust was one of the most important survivals. And the stories are incredible. Why don't you say something more about your father?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot to say. I know.
Would you like to hear an incredible story that I didn't have time to share there?
Yeah.
Just about compassion for people and paying it forward, because I told you that someone came to warn my father when the Nazis came, and that allowed them to escape. But what I didn't tell is that he was a man in the town who was known for not being like the greatest guy and had stolen from my grandfather's farm. And people had said to my grandfather, why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you confront him? And they said, you know what? He needs the food, so I'm going to give it to him. And then when the Nazis were coming, this was the man who came and warned them. So, and that saved their life. So that if he had not had compassion for him and it got paid forward, they might not have survived.
Wow. What does that teach you?
I mean, I would like to think that everyone is compassionate and kind, and there's not, you're not thinking about how it's going to come back to you. Right. But I think that when you have community and when you have compassion and bravery, that's
more likely.
It's gonna go out into the world in different ways.
Right. Have you met other people in your situation who were child of Holocaust survivors and have a story like that or something like that?
I think, I'm not sure. I'm not a religious Jew, but I believe in the values, and I have spoken with some second generation survivors.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I think we even have another story in our family where one time when they were escaping, when they left the woods, that there was a soldier who stopped them and checked their papers. And they did not have papers, obviously. And the soldier, my grandfather handed him just a random piece of paper that he had, and he said, I'm going to go inside and check it. And then they were able to escape when he went in to check the papers. And either they were very lucky, or some people wonder, did that man know who they were and was sort of letting them get away because he had a little bit of compassion in him, even though that was his job.
And he was a German soldier?
He was a German soldier who was checking their papers, but he may have suspected who they were and left them while he went inside, either intentionally or unintentionally, but either way is another way that his family was very lucky.
And it was your grandfather who escaped, or where was your father born?
My father was born in Czechoslovakia. This is my father. He was one of 8 children. So my grandfather and grandmother and the 4 youngest children hid in the woods with them. And then the older children were actually sent off to different farms and lived throughout the war with people who took them in. So they again, like very brave, compassionate people. Yes, only one out of one child was born in the displaced persons camp in Germany, but out of the 8 children who were alive at the time, only one passed away in a camp.
In a concentration.
Yeah, he was taken away when he was 17, and we believe he died in a labor camp when he was 20 when they checked the records. But we had one other sibling who was in a camp who did survive that experience.
Who did survive?
Yeah.
And where did they go from Czechoslovakia? Where did they go next?
They were in a displaced person camp in Germany for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then they did have someone who could sponsor them in the U.S. So then they made their way to Ellis Island. And so they grew up in New York. I grew up in New Jersey.
Okay. They went straight to U.S. from
Germany. They were, and we do have the records of the ship. So we were able to confirm that. We have found that. So when they came over. Wow. So he was I think this is around that time that he came over. So he was even younger at the time when he was hiding, probably about.
And what's his first name?
Benjamin.
So let me just, why don't you read that?
He hid in the woods from the Nazis and survived because a few stood up. Stand up for immigrants now.
And that's a picture of him with...
That's with my children,
with
his grandchildren.
Yeah, wow. Wow. Is it hard to tell the story? You seem to be able to tell it easily. Or fluidly, yeah.
I don't think it's too hard to tell the story. I think my dad was very young and he didn't remember a lot. So a lot of the things I know are through older siblings, but I think it's really nice that he was not able to remember or tell the story, that I'm now able to put it out in the world for him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hi. How are you doing?
That's a great,
do you know? Yeah.
very moving story.
Yeah.
Thank
Very
you.
moving.
Yeah.
Thank
very
you.
Much, yeah.
You know, those farmers, man, they
came through.
talk about chutzpah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Those farmers, man, so brave. And your dad, so brave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, did anybody go and find them after the war? The farmers? Was anybody?
I would love to know who they were. I don't know if that is possible.
Well, we don't know if they're alive, right?
No, but they're descendants. Well, they wouldn't be alive, but their descendants would maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's. I think we are having trouble even identifying the actual town, and the village was so small.
Yeah.
So,
and it might not exist now, right?
Yeah.
The town might not exist at this
it's
point.
possible.
Yeah.
Are these your kids in the picture?
These are my kids.
Oh, okay.
They're in college.
What's your name, by the way?
Oh, I'm Dan. Hi.
Dan, Johnny.
Johnny. Hi, Johnny.
Good to
So
see
you're
you.
part of the Chutzpah and Soul podcast?
Yeah. How'd you know? Yeah, and this is Johannes. He's also an immigrant.
You guys are
team? Yeah, we're a team, yeah. Johannes an immigrant
He's an immigrant?
from Colombia, Venezuela.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so we are really focusing a lot on immigration, not solely, but we're trying to show the connection between immigrants from everywhere. The first person we did was a Tibetan American.
Imagine that.
Tibetan. But she can't get back to Tibet. She's never been in Tibet at all. Because you know that story, right?
You mean being driven out by the Chinese?
Yeah, but she never was born there. She's never been there. And her family, the extended family, has been in exile for 80 years, and nobody's gotten back. Yeah, I mean, the story about immigration.
I don't know. It's a global story. It's not an American story necessarily,
totally. And it's going to keep going for a long time because the south part of the world, the southern part of the world, it has much lack of resources,
of course,
and climate change and everything. And they're going to have to keep coming.
Right. So the immigration problem remains, I feel, the biggest challenge of our century is how do we handle this movement? It's not just here. It's all over.
And it's
we
not
don't want
stop.
them. You take them. Well, we don't want them. You're stuck with them. I mean, come on, man.
And during the Holocaust, there were boats that came in where people tried to come in and they were turned away.
To the U.S.
It's not a new problem.
Yeah. We got a 91-year-old survivor. Well, who lives in Arlington? I'm sorry, in Lexington.
A survivor of the European Holocaust?
Yeah, he was they started in Germany, then to France, then to Spain, and then to Ecuador. Ecuador was the most liberal place for immigration, apparently during the war.
Wow.
And they had gotten turned down 3 times to the U.S. and then came to the U.S. after. And he's 91, but he's in great shape.
It can be fixed. It's not as though, we're out of space now, or we're out of money now, or we're out of work now. You know what I'm saying?
I
think there's a lot of smart people who could figure this out. And make the change.
You know, we're smart too. The 3 of us are smart, right? And the 4 of us are smart, man. We could definitely do it. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel this gives me hope. Just coming out here and
you've come before, right?
First time to Burlington.
Really?
Where do you live?
Well, we're south of Boston, so
how far south?
We're both off work today, so let's check out Burlington.
Do you know the thing about the Berlin Wall metaphorically between south of Boston and north of Boston?
No, I don't know.
It's a metaphor.
I don't know what the metaphor is.
Yeah, the metaphor is we don't go to south of Boston, and you guys don't go north of Boston. No, it's true. We don't know shit about people. Ask people about it.
I have to challenge that statement.
Okay.
I worked for years in Danvers, so I'm not unfamiliar with the North Shore.
Yeah.
But what blows me away is this is shopping mall. This is Burlington Mall. It was once
what was it?
The shining jewel of shoppers come to the Burlington Mall.
Yeah.
I mean, before the internet, this is where people would come.
Yeah, it's not doing that well now, right?
I'm just saying, it's so surreal that there's a Burlington Mall,
I know,
and there's a jail, and there's people in there who have 0 rights.
And don't you think that many people there, both who work and who come there, have no idea about this? Most people have no idea. Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, this is where I took my kids before the internet when they were little, to buy Christmas gifts, go for school shopping. So it's just it is very surreal that this exists right here.
All right, we got to go, man.
Nice to meet you.
Rebecca. Oh, and you have